Hello, welcome to Urban Inkspot. My name is Janine, and thank you for joining me on the first quarterly weigh-in of Inkspot Chronicles, which is a new series that I'm adding to my channel for 2025. So if you've had a chance to watch that video, and if you haven't, I will link it in the cards, I've decided to do a very informal measurement of how much ink I am using in any given period of time. And the time I've selected is a 1-year period, and I am very informally weighing all of my ink bottles at the end of every quarter so that I can see how much those ink bottles weighed at the beginning of the quarter, and then I can somewhat determine how much ink I'm using. So not scientific at all, but just a fun way for me to think through how much I'm using and use that information to inform whether or not I need to buy any more ink. So let's go ahead and start. What I've got here is a kitchen scale, and I've got this set to ounces, and off to my right I've got all of my ink bottles, and I am going to just go through and weigh everything once on ounces and then re-weigh everything on grams. And so I'm going to put this on mute, play a little music in the background, and we'll get through the weigh-in. I have 2 brand new inks that showed up in my collection during 2025. Philly Pen Show ink from Franklin Christoph. And then the final one came with my Grail pen, my Pilot Custom 823. All right, so we are going to do the same thing with the switching this to grams. Okay, here we go. What I'm going to do is get all these inks secured back into my ink closet, and I'm going to come back with a grid of what all of these weighed at the original weigh-in, what they weigh now, and I'll also add a line item for the 2 new inks that I brought in this quarter. All right, so I'll see you in a little bit. And here you have the summary of how much I have used in ounces and in grams. Starting December 31st, my collection weighed in at 120.15 ounces. I brought in 2 new inks in January for 1135 ounces, and the total weight across all of those is 131.5 ounces. In December, in grams, my existing collection, 3,402 grams, with my incoming inks at 323 grams for a total weight of 3,725. In March, I had 119.5 ounces. My 2 new ones came in at 11.25 ounces for a total of 130.75. And in grams, existing collection, 3,386. My 2 new ones at 320 for a total weight of 3,706 grams. And the variance of the entire collection for quarter 1 was 0.75 ounces and 0.19 grams. So there you have it, folks. That is the difference in my existing collection and what I used in the first quarter. And I look forward to seeing you at the end of the second quarter, where we can measure how much inks I'm using, both in ounces and in grams. And hopefully I can use this information to help me decide not only how much ink I'm using, but how much ink I probably should or maybe shouldn't, be bringing into my collection every year. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye!